How's it going, everyone? Let's talk about Ethereum. So, Ethereum's doing pretty good today, and it's because there's news that's going around saying that BlackRock has filed an Ethereum Spot ETF. And I don't know for sure if this is true or not, but the rumor itself is enough to get it going pretty good. And I mean, this may be actual true news. I haven't had enough time to look into it yet, but this doesn't surprise me. And there's people saying that maybe the Ethereum ETF is going to get approved before the Bitcoin ETF. And I honestly think that the Ethereum ETF is going to have to go through the same process as the Bitcoin Spot ETF. And I thought I was watching a video from Meet Kevin back when the Bitcoin ETF was originally filed, and I thought he said that usually the process of getting an ETF set up and approved takes about 6 months. But I can't find where I saw that, so I don't know if that's true, if I'm just making that up, if I remembered something incorrectly. But it seems like the Bitcoin ETF is going to take about 6 months from what I've seen. And I think 6 months, I think they filed it in the end of June of this year, was when they put in all of the Bitcoin ETF approvals for all the different companies. And I have a feeling that it's probably going to get approved in January. And that's about 6 months from when they put in all the filings. Now, I would imagine that the same thing is going to happen with an Ethereum Spot ETF, which, if you check back with my previous Ethereum video, I have been thinking that there is going to be positive regulation for Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, because Wall Street needs both of these, but also with these two cryptos, they can do a lot of the different things that they're looking to do. Now, Ethereum is super important to Wall Street because Bitcoin has a lot of good uses, but Ethereum is like an internet browser of crypto. With Ethereum, Wall Street can do a lot of different things. And now one of the things that we've heard Larry Fink talk about is the tokenization of securities. Well, how are they going to do that? Most likely with the Ethereum blockchain. Now, this I think is going to take a very long time for them to get set up, unless they've already been setting it up behind the scenes. Because I don't think you can easily just transform the whole traditional finance system onto the crypto system overnight. I think it's going to take quite a few years. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes 5 to 10 years to get everything set up. Now, they might start out with something simple like taking the FANG stocks, or maybe some of the stocks from the S&P 500 and converting some of those into some kind of program that has the availability of the tokenization of those securities, and they start playing around with it with different apps, with different brokerages. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with an FTX 2.0 and they started offering these tokenized securities on FTX 2.0 and started to convince everybody to start using this because it's so cool and everything, which I never liked FTX, which, I mean, it's hard to say. At the beginning, it was hard to tell, anything was wrong with it. But the funny reason that I never liked FTX was because they didn't offer Cardano. So because they didn't offer Cardano, I was like, I don't really care much for this app. And then everything went crazy and it all went down. But I feel like they're going to bring it back and it's going to be approved by Wall Street and all this stuff. And I'm still not going to use FTX because I don't trust any of the things that has gone on behind it, with the government involvement potentially and everything. But anyways, let's get back to Ethereum. So I think that Ethereum is very important for Wall Street. Now, another thing that I know a lot of people are going to say is, what about the gas fees? Everybody's going to complain about the transaction fees and all this stuff. Wall Street doesn't care about the transaction fees because we are going to pay them as their customers and clients. So they'll pass on all the fees to us and they're not going to care about the fees. They just want to use the blockchain and the technology and everything so that they can update everything. And we've seen that Ethereum has a lot of ties with Wall Street, and it's very easy for them to get into this. And Ethereum covers a lot of stuff. Most of the stable coins right now are on Ethereum. There's a lot of different things with the Ethereum virtual machine. Ethereum has built out a lot. And so Wall Street, looking at it, they realize that they can get away with having just Bitcoin and Ethereum and accomplish many of their desires and different products that they want to use. So another thing that I want to talk about, and I saw that Altcoin Daily mentioned this, and I really liked that they said this. Just like with the Bitcoin Spot ETF, when they first announced it, it got denied, declined, however they wanted to say it, because the wording wasn't correct and all that different stuff. I could see the Ethereum Spot ETF going through the exact same process. Now, this could be, and it could even be timed a certain way, because Bitcoin has been running for probably almost the past month, and it's time for it to kind of cool down a little bit. A decline or a denial or whatever of the Ethereum Spot ETF could be just enough news to knock Bitcoin down a couple $1,000s and get a pullback and cause everybody to start, bring back their fear and the FUD and everything. Now, a pullback is healthy because you can't have everything run forever. It's got to stop and take a breather. So a pullback will be healthy, but it could be something that they kind of have planned in to cause this pullback so that people keep buying in right now when it's really high, and then they'll catch them off guard, and then everybody's going to get super scared. Now, if you have a long-term mindset, if you're not planning on selling until towards the end of 2025, at the end of the cycle, then a small pullback, if you're DCAing in right now, it's not really going to affect you at all. Just keep to your DCA strategy, and it won't really hurt you. So that's a couple things that I wanted to cover. The Ethereum Spot ETF and the possibility of denying it or declining the approval, causing it to bring a pullback in the crypto market. So another thing that I want to talk about is, like I had mentioned in the previous video, I do think that there is going to be positive regulation coming out for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I don't have any evidence of this. I don't have any proof or anything. This is just the way that it's looking and the way that it seems like it's turning out. But I had wondered this stuff about Ethereum for a while, because a lot of people have been, I don't really want to say bearish, but they haven't had a very high outlook or high hopes for Ethereum like they have in the past. And every cycle we've seen so far, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin. And I believe that it's going to do it again, just like it has in the past. This happens every single time, and people are saying, oh, we don't think Ethereum's going to go very high, It may be into the teens of thousands, But if Bitcoin goes clear up, potentially over 100,000 into the higher end of 100,000, then I don't think that a $20,000 Ethereum is that far-fetched. And Ethereum, percentage-wise, always outperforms Bitcoin. So I feel like the news about Ethereum has either been hidden or nobody's been talking about it, so that Wall Street could stack up Ethereum while nobody was thinking about it. And for a long time, I've been telling people that if they're too scared to get into any of the alts, but they want something a little bit better than Bitcoin, Ethereum would be the one stock or the one crypto that they could choose, because it's the safest of all the altcoins, which it's almost not even an altcoin anymore, because Ethereum is kind of making a name for itself. And it still has some good potential returns. So I thought all this stuff was kind of crazy coming out, seeing, and, I was kind of thinking that there was all these people making all these gains on Bitcoin, and they were starting to roll them into Ethereum. It's kind of like a mini altcoin season. But seeing all this news come out for Ethereum, I see why it's running. So that's kind of just some of my thoughts. I'm happy to see Ethereum doing well. I think Ethereum will continue to do well. And if you're, like I said, if you're DCAing into it, just keep going. And if you're trying to make short-term trades, just keep watching on it. But the DCA will continue to play off. If you are doing a DCA strategy, don't be distracted by the short-term movement. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about that today because I saw Ethereum finally going. I thought it was really cool. And I felt like it for a long time that Ethereum was going to do well, but nobody was talking about it, and it was kind of confusing me. So I'm glad to see it running again. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again in the next video.